Hi guys, in this tutorial we're going to be looking at some examples based on what we've been doing so far. And so we've looked at so many areas, we've looked at so many topics from the very first tutorial. So I showed you how to use operators, how to combine different operators, how to use and or, okay, to meet our requirements. So what we're going to be doing in this tutorial and a couple of upcoming tutorials is to is to come up with some requirements and then provide solution, write the query together with you. Okay. So in this tutorial, we're going to be writing a query to meet these requirements. Okay. So I have these requirements for us to look at. So return the first name, salary, and email of female employees that work in tools departments earning a minimum salary of 110,000. Anyone without an email should not be included in the report. Okay, so I advised in some tutorials before now that when you have a requirement, spend your time to understand the requirement before starting to write the query. So the first thing we want to pull out from this requirement is the first line. So what columns are we returning? And this is return the first name, salary, and email. Okay, so let's select first name, salary, email. So where are we selecting these um, columns from? Of course, from our employees table. So we say from employees. So we got the first line. This is what we are returning, and we are returning from employees table. Now, what are the conditions that we have in this requirement? The first condition says female employees that work in tools department. So the first condition is we only want to see female employees. Okay, so that way I come down, and for you to specify a condition, you need your where clause. So female employee, let me do select star so we can be looking at the table while we write. Okay, so I'll do select star from employees. So I'm only going to run the select star from employees. So we have 1000 records. So let's look at all the columns that we have. So we have written the first line that says select first name, salary, email from employees. And we only want to see female employees. So I will say where gender, because it's this gender column that I can use to specify. See, is in gender we have female and male. So I will say where gender equals female, which is F. That's what we have in the table. If I move this up, you're going to see. You see gender. So that's the first filter where gender equals female. And again, it says female employees that work in tools, then and departments equals tools. You see, we have different departments here. So we only want to see the female employees working in tools departments. Okay, so I say where department equals tools. So now we have the first filter. Gender has to be female. Department has to be tools. Okay, let's see if we have more filter or more condition. Female employees, we already have that. That work in tools department, we already have that. Earning a minimum salary of 110,000. Okay, that's another condition. Minimum salary of 110,000. So I can say where gender equals female and department equals tools and salary. So if you want to specify a minimum of 110, so that means I could say greater than or equals to 110, because what the requirement is saying is minimum of 110. So we are looking for those female employees working in tools department earning salary that is not less than 110. That's what this is saying. Minimum salary of 110. That is salary that is not less than 110. So I will say greater than or equals to 110. Now, if I specify greater than or equals to 110, so I'm saying these employees cannot earn less than 110. It has to be minimum of 110. That's what the requirement is saying. So we are through with the first condition, female employees working in tools, salary not less than 110. So let's go back to the requirement and see if we have any other condition. Now this is the last one. It says anyone without an email should not be included in the reports. So let me show you something in the email column. You see we have some employees without emails. You see like this, we have email, but like this one, there's no email. Like this, there's no email. So like that. So some employees don't have emails. Like this, Ronica does not have email. Like that. If you keep going down, you see Bernardo, no email. Kayla, no email. So the last filter, the last condition we're going to apply says anyone without an email should not be included in the report. So we need to add this and say, and email is not null. So you don't want to see any record where email is empty. That's what this null means. And email is not null. So we have this requirement. I'm going to make some space here. So look at the query we have, look at the requirements. So now I'm going to run this and let's see what we have. First name, salary, email from employees, where gender equals female and department equals tools and salary greater than or equals to 110,000 and email is not null. Let's run. So we have 5 rows. I'm going to let me make some space up here. Okay, good. So now we have salary. If you look through this salary, you notice that it's not less than 110,000. None of this salary. And here we have emails. All the employees we have they have emails. None of this is empty. You can see we have emails. Okay, let's include gender so we can see that they are all females too. So I'm going to include gender. So I will include gender here so we can see gender as well. So now I've added genders. Let's run. Let's run again and see. Okay, good. So we still have 5 rows, but we have more columns. So how do we know that this query has the right report or output? Gender, all must be female, and we have all female. Email must not be empty, must not be null, and we don't have any empty space. Um, Salary must not be less than 110, and that's what we have. 126, 140, 125, 142, 153. What I can do, I can say I can order by salary ascending. So we see the list or the minimum salary from this. So I'll run again. Oh, um, spelling mistake here. I need to remove this. So let's run again. Good. So we still have 5 records. Let's check the salary. See, this is the least salary in this report, 125,000. So we don't have any salary less than 110,000. So the report is fine. These are the female employees: Natalie, Jody, Fania, Mandy, and Barbara. Okay, so take time, study the requirement, know the number of filters or conditions, and the number of columns you need to return. So let's go through this query again. I'm going to run the first line that says select first name, salary, gender, email from employees. Just the first line. Let's see. We have 1000 rows because there's no filter. Okay. Now I'm going to move this down. Let me move this down. Okay. So now I'm going to run just the first filter. So now I'm running select first name, salary, gender, email from employees where gender equals female. Where gender equals female. So I'm stopping right here where gender equals female. Now we have 501 records, 501 rows because we only have one filter, gender equals female. And if you look through this, you're going to have female all true. Okay, that's the first condition. So we're only using the first condition where gender equals female. We have 501. But when you look at this, we still have empty emails. No, like right here is no, here is no. You see, we have empty null email. So let's include um, let's include the second filter, that is and department equals tools. So now we're only running first name, salary, gender, email from employees, where gender equals female and department equals tools. I'm going to include department here so we can also use that column to validate our results. I'll come here, include it. So let's say we also have department in the requirement. So now we want to see first name, salary, department, gender, email from employees, where gender equals female and department equals tools. So we are running from where gender equals female and department equals tools. We have 19 rows. So meaning we have 19 female employees that work in tools departments. 19 female employees that work in tools department. How can we tell if this is right? If you come to the department, you see we all have tools because we said department must be tools. And if you come to the gender column, they are all females. We have F. So we are still fine. Let's include the third one. The third requirement says and salary greater than 110. Okay, before I run this, let's see if we have salary less than 110. You see, now we have 56,752. We have 81,889. So we have salary less than 110. Now we're going to include that filter and come back to check the salary column. So I'm running from select first name, salary, department, gender, email from employees, where gender equals female and department equals tools and salary greater than or equals 110. That's what I want to run right now. So we have 6 rows. Okay, so 19 rows dropped to 6 rows because we added salary greater than or equals 110. Let's validate this. See all the salary is greater than 110. Department is tools, gender is female. But when you go to the email column, we still have Christine. Christine has empty email. Christine has not provided email. So the requirement says anyone without an email should not be included in the report. So how do we filter out Christine? You go back to your query and now we can add an email is not null. For email, you can do an email not equals to null. This is not going to run. For null, what you can do is to say is not null. So now when I include this and run, now we have 5 records. Remember before we included the last filter where email is not null, we were having 6. So how do we validate this? Department has to be tools, we have tools. Gender has to be female, we have all female. Email must not be empty, must not be null. None of the email is null. Okay, so now we've met the requirement and I included order by salary. So we can arrange the salary from the minimum salary just for us to see that we don't have any salary that is less than 110. So if I run everything together, we have this. So just 5 employees meet these requirements. So take your time, watch this solution over and over again. Um, if you don't understand it, watching it once, that's okay. It requires some practice. You just need to go through it over and over again. Make sure the requirement makes sense to you. Read the solution, the query, line by line. And if you do that a couple of times, trust me, it's going to make sense. Thank you guys for watching. In the next tutorial, we're going to be looking at more requirements and we're going to be writing the queries right here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.